Good evening, brothers. I now call this meeting of the 2021 workshop back into order.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Bobby Rogers, and I'm the current chapter president for the Midlands Alumni Association located in Columbia, South Carolina. I wanted to first thank you all for giving us a brief moment to share some of our activities in 2020. As you know, we had a shocking pandemic that kind of took over most of 2020, but within that, we still were able to get some things accomplished. We had two meetings last year. The first meeting was more so of a planning meeting and kind of trying to wrap our heads around where we would like to see the organization or where we would like to see the chapter go and how we would like to see it flourish. The brothers brought forth a lot of great information, resources, and ideas to the table. We also brought in some outside entities who have established alumni chapters who provided us also with some great resources and great strategies as to how we can best utilize our time. We also had one training in parliamentary procedure led by K. Allen Campbell, which provided us with the rules and guidelines for using Robert Rules of Order. And so this was definitely useful and helpful to us, as this is the way that we should function within our meetings to make sure that we are definitely handling the business of the chapter in the best way possible. The chapter has established a bank account in which we have some funds in the bank account. However, once we know the status of the chapter, we can then start collecting funds from the brothers who are interested in being a part of the Midlands Association so that we can continue to provide substantial resources for the community and also other activities, and also to keep the chapter afloat. Presently, we have 20 brothers on our roster. We do have our roster in the form of being able to note officers. So presidents and subcommittees have been formed, and there are persons on those committees. Those committees were meeting in 2020 to kind of lay some groundwork for and to shape the chapter as a whole. And so we're definitely looking forward to reconvening during and after the pandemic to put those ideas into motion. So in that same breath, we would definitely like to thank you for the opportunity to be able to share with you all. If you know of anyone who's interested in joining the Midlands Alumni Association, please feel free to have them to contact us. We are definitely excited about what the possibilities are, getting brothers excited about the alumni status as a Symphonian, and to definitely help to provide additional resources in the community and to those who love music. So we're definitely looking forward to those ideas and any other resources that may be available and possible collaborations. So with that, I am concluding my report. And that's it. Again, thank you for your time, and we look forward to working with you all and seeing you all in the future. Make sure you be blessed and stay safe.
This it is to be a man of the highest type, to be and not seem, to do and not simply to talk, to have the right ideal, the true motive, and patiently to transform conduct in accordance with it. So let it be for Symphonia.
Due to the coronavirus pandemic, South Carolina State University was forced to go 100% virtual last school year. So that means our chapter had to go 100% virtual as well. So I took it upon myself to figure out some type of way that we could remain relevant on campus while not being physically on campus. I figure since a lot of people are at home, they're spending a lot more time on social media. So I came up with a few social media concepts that we use to gain some type of relevancy and keep our chapter somewhat relevant on this virtual campus. Up first, we have the new IOTA Netflix suggestions. This is just a group of hand-picked TV series and movies that the chapter put together to give our consumers something new and fresh to watch. If they are looking for something or can't decide what to watch, they can come to our page, see what we suggest, and, possibly take part in that. Up next, we have a bracket. And this particular bracket is the greatest HBCU band of all time. We picked a list of our favorite bands, put them on a bracket, And of course, South Carolina State University Marching 101 Band is the winner. Shout out to the 101. Up next, we have Symphonian Jams 18.98 FM. This is just a playlist of songs that the chapter handpicked and put together for our consumers to go check out, listen to on their leisure, and just jam out. And finally, we did the One Gotta Go Elimination Challenge. And this is putting together some of the hardest choices and trying to decide which one is the best for you to let go. Which one are you okay with letting go of? With these ideas, we managed to make some noise. I realized a lot of things in my analysis from this experiment. With my knowledge on how social media and algorithms work, I know that timing is everything. An awesome idea that you may want to post may not be the best for you to post at that moment due to your engagement. You may put a lot of time and effort into creating this post that's so awesome, so great, only for it to be seen by 5 people. That's not a win to me. I have so many ideas in my arsenal that have not seen the light of day. However, I have been doing a lot of planning behind the scenes, and with us now being hybrid, some brothers are now on campus. So hopefully we can pull off another successful run. Some ideas we're going to keep the same and just maybe revamp them a little bit to fit the times. However, we do have a lot more new content that's coming really soon. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, brothers. I appreciate you very much. Hail Symphonia.
My experience as a member of Phi Mu Alpha has been amazing. The love that I received and encountered from the brothers in South Carolina has been phenomenal. They've been there for me. They've been supportive. It's good that you've got a brotherhood that you can speak highly of, a brotherhood that's there, does more than just talking, but leads by example. And that's what Phi Mu Alpha has been for me, especially the brothers there on the campus of South Carolina State University, always been supportive. Even when I left and assumed my role as president of Voorhees College, Phi Mu Alpha was there in so many different ways. And now that I'm at West Liberty University in West Virginia, I'm also looking for my brothers to come up out the woodwork and to lend support and a hand. When I became a member of Phi Mu Alpha more than 20 years ago, it was the best decision I could have made. Phi Mu Alpha. All hail, Symphonia.
Hey everyone. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Carl Long. I'm the newly elected president of the Nu Kappa chapter. And thanks to COVID-19, I think this has probably been one of the most interesting years I've had in this fraternity. But nevertheless, we've been trying to find new ways of outreach to the community and our campus, and most successfully to our alumni members. With a lot of our alumni events, we've just moved to Zoom, and since we don't have to have members driving in, we've had really great turnouts with our alumni members, and actually have been able to rebuild a lot of connections with them. Last spring, we had several brothers graduate. Brothers Hagen Letta graduated with a degree in music education. Nick Willie in music education. Will Robinson graduated with a degree in social work. Will Shaw and Alex Roddy both graduated with degrees in music education, and Brother Joey Kindig graduated with a degree in music education. This fall, we also were able to initiate our spring line from last year, finally, so we added 7 new brothers to our ranks. This semester, we are planning on foregoing the traditional AMR, and we're having 2 large outdoor concerts at the end of February and March. And we are also planning on initiating 4 new brothers this semester that will be pinned this week and initiated on March 18th. At the end of this spring, we have a large portion of our chapter graduating, Brothers Aaron Milner, Carson Ruffing, Dennis Patterson, Notorian Patton, Sky Powell, and Will Easterday will all be graduating with degrees in music education. Clay Quinn will be graduating with a degree in music technology, and I will be graduating with a degree in music performance. So it's been a super productive year in New Capo, but it's also been a year of innovation, definitely. We're finding new ways to do things, and especially new ways to get together and have fun since the COVID has happened. Thanks, guys.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Good evening, brothers. I hope that this message finds you well. Given the special nature of this workshop, I am excited to take the opportunity to talk to you from my classroom here at Liberty High School. Like many of you, I have had to make some adjustments within the past year. From learning how to work at home with my new teaching assistant, to coming back to my classroom and attempting to provide a safe and efficient learning experience for my students, this academic year has certainly provided obstacles and challenges for me, as I'm sure it has provided for you. But with obstacles and challenges come opportunity. Province 30 has sought numerous opportunities in a time unlike any other for Symphonia. The vision for alumni engagement within this province is of a self-sufficient system that is driven by brothers of various age, background, and location. Thankfully, through the efforts of numerous brothers of age, background, and location, Province 30 has risen to the occasion that this year has called. The Midlands Area Alumni Association has had excitement and activity not seen since its inception in 2012. The efforts of President Bobby Rogers, Vice President Eric Smith, and the other 29 musicianly men in the Midlands area have relit the spark needed to ensure a successful association here in South Carolina. I thank these men for their commitment to this brotherhood. I also want to thank the alumni relations officers from these 6 chapters on their tireless efforts to promote engagement within their alumni. From virtual game nights to virtual try-ins, we have seen creativity and inspiration unlike ever before. It is this effort that will carry Symphonia past the pandemic and beyond. Finally, I would like to thank my fellow members of the Province 30 leadership team. Kyle, Montez, Chris, Mac, and Josh. It has been so much fun to work with you guys. I am so thankful to have been blessed with great mentors who have shown me what it means to be a man of the highest type. Brothers, be excited for this year. Thanks to the knowledge and sacrifice of our medical professionals, we will slowly and surely return to the life we have had before the virus. Once we have put this chapter behind us, we will be able to move onward and ever upward. I can confidently announce that we will reintroduce Carolina Carols, our province-wide Mills Music Mission Initiative, in December. We will also be back at SEMEA 2022, where we will continue our Thursday night social, as well as introduce the Tailgate, a brothers and guest-only area in Vendor Hall that will allow you to relax and socialize with other Symphonians. We are also looking forward to bringing back the Province 30 Summer Meet and Eat series, where we will all meet up in select areas all over the state for an evening of good food and fellowship. The Summer Meet and Eat series will return in the summer of 2022. The spirit of this brotherhood can be equal to that of a flame. A flame is crucial to survival. Keep its environment too cold or windy, and the flame will die out. This past triennium has indeed been a cold and dark period for our brotherhood. Numerous challenges and obstacles have hit us hard, many of which have been out of our control. It would be very easy to admit defeat and let the flame die. But if we are able to keep the flame lit in the darkest of times, imagine what we will be able to do at the brightest. In his March 15, 1912 letter, Austin Mills shares in what he thinks are the possibilities of Symphonia. He wrote that the future possibilities of our beloved fraternity will depend entirely upon the individual membership. The type of men you and I are, the personal influence that radiates from our lives, will be the power to make or unmake the man with whom we are now associated or who shall come after us. Never for a minute, brother, underestimate the impact that you have on this order. Symphonia is not just an organization. It is a living, breathing body whose survival relies on its members' past and present and future. The legacy that has been built by our elders now rests upon our shoulders. It is up to each individual brother to reaffirm our oath of obligation and to carry the flame onward. Let us learn from our past and be excited for our future. May our fraternity be near and dear to us in this new year, new decade, and new century. And may we go forward to bring out the potential of this great state and her people. The flame of this brotherhood is bright, brothers. I ask that you join me in protecting and nourishing it as we move upward. Be excited for the possibilities of this province and this fraternity. More than ever, my brothers, it is good to be a Symphonian. For once a Symphonian, always a Symphonian.
Good afternoon, my fellow Symphonians. It is with great honor and esteemed privilege to greet you today to our 2021 Province 30 virtual workshop. My name is Montez Aiken, your Deputy Province Governor. Over the course of 2020, and a little into 2021, we as a brotherhood and as a nation has faced unprecedented challenges that we haven't seen in generations, from a fraternity emergency to a global pandemic that has taken nearly 400,000 American lives, to a contentious and divisive election season, and most recently, acts of sedition and insurrection taking place in the citadel of our democracy. Now, 2020 is most definitely a year that most of us would probably like to forget. Despite all the doom and gloom, I am so proud of the work that you all have done to go about the business of Symphonia. You have answered the call, awakened muted liars, and sought the best of others for the good of all. I am deeply thankful to be a part of such a noble and inspirational group of mainly musician and musicianly men. I want to applaud the work of your Province 30 leadership team under the guidance of our province governor, Brother Kyle Coleman. These men have worked tirelessly to make sure that your voice here in South Carolina was heard despite the chaos and noise at the national levels of our order. I want to thank the collegiate and alumni symphonians that I've spoken with, mostly virtually, about the things concerning your chapter and you personally. At our last face-to-face meeting, I brought the topic of being your brother's keeper. Now, brothers, now more than ever is the time that we must reach out to each other and take care of each other. COVID-19 is killing so many people at such an alarming rate. Now, I know many of you would love to go back to your respective campuses and hold parties, go to sporting events, have probate shows, and host informational smokers. But now we must move forward with caution and care. In closing, I want each of you to remember that Phi Mu Alpha is not one man or office, but a collection of ideals that have lasted for over a century. Sincere and inspired men came together to give birth to our noble order. Friendships have been forged that will undoubtedly stand the test of time. Opportunities of greatness exist within all of us. Despite what we see and what we hear, we are Americans, and our nation is great. Our ideals guide and shape us toward the highest levels of attainment. Thank you, brothers, and I hope and pray that you have a safe and prosperous 2021. Onward, ever upward. May God bless you, and may God bless Phi Mu Alpha Sinfonia Fraternity of America.
Hello, brothers, and thank you for having me as part of the Province 30 virtual workshop. My name is Dean Shatley, former governor of North Carolina, Province 20, and former NEC member. I really wish that we could all be together, but we certainly understand that that's not a possibility right now with COVID-19 and all the restrictions and protocols. I'm honored and privileged that Brother Coleman asked me to spend a few minutes with you today and to just talk about kind of how we move forward, how we continue to push ahead in a world that has many challenges. And these challenges are difficult, and I'm sure they're difficult for many of you. The last year has been difficult for me and my family in a lot of ways. In some ways, it's made us get closer too. So there's always a silver lining. And there are just more challenges that face us in our fraternity as well. You know, and usually our fraternity is the place or the thing that we can go to when we need inspiration, when we need a place to pull back because we're weary. We need a place to refresh. We need an exalted experience. And certainly the challenges that we face today are of a large scale. I mean, there's COVID-19. There is the things that occurred in our capital on January the 6th, something that none of us have ever seen in our lifetimes. There's racial injustice. And then there are those issues in our fraternity as well that make it difficult for the fraternity to be that place, sometimes to find that experience. And so how do we move forward? How do we find this purpose, our purpose in all of this? And I'm reminded by a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice, That means change takes time, it takes patience. And in a world in which we just want to flip the switch and we want to make something happen, and that's not always the case. In 1954, the United States Supreme Court ruled that separate but equal schools or desegregating schools for African American children was unconstitutional. That didn't flip a switch in the United States. That did not all of a sudden mean on the next day in 1954 that young black kids could go to school with white kids. In fact, it only really just started the path of trying to make education in America equal. And that path in some communities took years, and some it took decades, and some were really still fighting some of those same challenges. So change takes patience and change takes time. And so how do we now, when we're faced with all of these heavy burdens of our society, of our fraternity, how do we become part of that change? How do we ensure positive and appropriate change takes place and it takes time? And I want to leave you with this, that each of you has got to take a stand. And part of taking a stand means that you engage, you become part of the problem solvers, you become creative. But part of engaging, though, also means that you learn to empathize and you learn to listen. One of the things that really upsets me about our country today, and I've even seen this some in our fraternity, is that we too easily allow our moral indignation to stop debate, to stop progress, to just immediately cancel out what somebody else believes or thinks because we believe it's not morally appropriate. Now, don't get me wrong, there are things that we need to be morally indignant about, things like racism. But too many times we allow that moral indignation to just automatically creep in without giving anybody else the benefit of the doubt, without empathizing, putting ourselves in their shoes and trying to understand where they are coming from. And so part of being a change maker, part of being a problem solver, part of what is going to get us from point A on this arc to point B down the road is going to be the ability of all of us to empathize and to listen with an open mind and an open heart. You know, there's this old interview with Mr. Rogers, obviously fraternity brother, where he told, you know, where they saw something that was tragic event on TV or whatever, and his mother said, always look for the helpers. It's time for every one of us to take a stand and to be a helper. And so don't let this period of time, whether it's COVID, whether it's something in the fraternity, whether it's whatever it is, don't let it get you down. There is a light at the end of this tunnel, but we have to see ourselves out of it. We have to be the helpers. We have got to be the problem solvers. We have got to engage. We have got to listen. And when we do, we listen with an open mind and an open heart. Brothers, I wish you very well as you finish out this academic year, this semester. I know you're just getting started, and I know it's been tough. Keep your heads up, stay strong. Let this fraternity support you, support each other, be good to each other, love each other, be kind to each other. And if you ever need me, please reach out. I can't wait until we have the opportunity to see each other again. Hopefully, maybe the 2022 Province 30 or Province 20 workshop. Take care, brothers.
Brothers, thank you for joining us yet again for another awesome night. The Province 30 team would like to thank brothers Michael Jenkins and Dean Shadley for their contributions this weekend, as well as to every brother who submitted a video. We hope you will join us tomorrow at 2 p.m. for a final virtual session and for the Zoom business meeting to occur immediately after. There being no further business tonight, I now call this meeting of the 2021 Province 30 Workshop recessed until tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m.